Donkeys are known for their tough hoofs, but proper care is essential for their health and comfort. This video offers a comprehensive guide to preparing your donkey for a farrier visit, including trimming, cleaning, and handling tips, making your donkey's farrier experience as stress-free as possible. And today I'm lucky enough to have our daughter Hannah home from the Army and playing with the donkeys with me. You're going to want the necessary equipment for cleaning their feet, including a hoof pick, brush, and then make sure you're in a safe area for handling their feet. Now, you're going to want to also introduce all this stuff to your donkey before the farrier ever comes out. We want our donkeys to be familiar with the process that's going to happen, as well as getting them, if possible, used to different people or strangers. When you start this, if your donkey is calm and relaxed, you're going to have better results than if they're nervous. So waiting for them to be calm is a good thing. Now here, little dude has already been trained to pick up his feet, but sometimes you might be working with a donkey who, when you just run your hand down their leg, that makes them nervous. So we start with all of these into baby steps, breaking everything down to make sure they're comfortable with every step along the way. When you're picking up their feet, if they're really stiff, that's a sign that they're nervous. So I like to either wait till they relax, or if that's not going to be successful, give their foot back before they start to fight you. This way we can keep working on building up these skills little by little, rather than expecting our donkeys to behave right away when they don't understand. Now, little dude is a young donkey. In this video, he's about a year old, and he's a little bit nervous, and he's also blind on his right side. So we just keep going at his pace, getting him comfortable. He did pretty good with his first farrier visit, but he did jump, and he cleared some ground when he did that, when he got a little bit nervous. Now, I use oats as a pay reward for doing the right thing. And one day my farrier was over, and he thought because little dude did so well the time before that he could just do it on his own. And it made all the difference in the world if I was there. So our donkeys are going to start to trust us, and they might not trust with other people right away. So when our farrier tried to do little dude while I was hanging on to a different animal, little dude was fighting him. And once I came and I held on to little dude, then he calmed right down and he behaved really well. So there's different things that are going to help us help our farrier have a good, mild experience when they're trimming our donkey's feet. Now, if you can, it's ideal to get out there and clean your donkey's feet every day or work on picking them up every day. The repetition of having this done is really going to help your donkey become comfortable and confident with the process that's happening with their feet. Now, our farrier, we typically trim every 8 weeks, and I totally trust my farrier to let me know if it needs to be a little bit sooner, or sometimes in the wintertime we'll go a little bit longer. But typically every 8 weeks we have all of our donkeys trimmed. Now, when we're cleaning their feet on a regular basis, we're going to make sure we're getting any debris out. We're going to see if there's any issues with their feet or hot spots or any lameness, any owies on their leg. Whenever we're cleaning their feet, we're watching for all of that stuff. Or sometimes, because they're so stoic, maybe they could have something going on and we wouldn't notice unless we're actually right down there looking at their leg and inspecting everything. When you're working with your donkey's feet and your farrier is out working with your donkey's feet, patience is key. So if they are struggling, we're not going to go to punishing our donkeys. We're going to release when they're light. We're going to avoid the fight with them. We're not going to win any battles. So be patient and work with your donkey with where they're at today. My favorite way to train a donkey with their feet is to start off with target training, where they're learning to accept touch, to be brushed or handled along the length of their leg, and then teaching them to pick up their foot when I ask, and to target their kneecap to my long brush is what I like to use. And then after that, they can target to my hand, and then after that, I ask them to pick up just by gently putting my hand on their leg and asking them to pick it up. Now you can also squeeze below their knee and wait for them to release that pressure. So they might just shift their weight a little bit to the side, and that's when you would release. We're making sure that we're building up their confidence as we're going along in the process. So we don't necessarily need to be forcing things for them to pick it up. Now, if you have one that's really hard, you could use a rope to force them to pick up their foot. And if you're doing that, you need to really focus on releasing when they're light so that you're not creating resistance in the process while you're training. It is really good for donkeys to have a nice dry area. And you can see our dry lot at this moment is more like a mud lot. But having a dry area to be is good. They do have a barn to go hang out in when it does get to be a mud lot instead of a dry lot. Proper drainage is nice, and sometimes you could dig a hole and put like rock in there so that it can have better drainage, or even just the angle of the grade of the land can make a difference. It's important to train our donkeys so that they're ready for the farrier, and it's also important that your farrier has patience when they're working with a donkey. Eventually your donkey is going to understand the process and they're going to stand like a champ for the farrier. But until then, we don't want anybody beating on the donkeys because they don't understand or they're nervous. Be patient with your donkey and help them understand, help them gain confidence in this whole process. Doing the regular trims is going to help them. Cleaning your donkey's feet on a regular basis and working with them. Like right now, we're not cleaning little dude's feet. We're just picking him up. We're getting him used to that farrier stand there. Just getting him used to all the things that happen when his feet get trimmed. We really want them to understand the process and not fear the process. Keeping their feet clean and healthy is so important because that's the lifeline of them. A donkey needs their feet. A horse, any equine, they need their feet. Remember, they're on their feet approximately 20 hours a day. An equine can sleep laying down for about 4 hours a day, but typically not much more than that. Now, most people don't have a farrier stand, and if you don't have a farrier stand at home, you can practice putting their feet up onto something else. Just pick anything. Just make sure it doesn't topple over while you're working with them. We don't want to cause them to be scared while we're working on this. So to recap, we're going to work with our donkey's legs and feet on a regular basis. We're going to be able to inspect to see if there's anything wrong with their legs or hot spots, any owies. We're going to keep practicing cleaning their feet and getting them used to all of the different angles and ways that we hang on to their legs when we're working with them. We want to introduce them to new people to help them be brave around strangers. We want to have our farrier out on a regular basis. Our farrier comes out about every 8 weeks. We're going to keep doing all this stuff on a regular basis until our donkey is completely comfortable. And after that, we're going to keep doing it just because we're going to do it to take care of them. Sure, I'm glad that you guys are here watching, following along with little dude. He's our little 1-year-old Jack. And hopefully he's going to grow up to be big. Time will only tell. I love to hear your comments and keep watching to follow along on his journey. Little dude has his own playlist that you can follow along with. And I love to hear your comments. If you find value or found value in this video, I would love it if you would hit that like and subscribe button. It sure does help out our channel and I appreciate it a ton. Again, I'd love to hear your comments about your own journey working with your donkeys or wild Mustangs. As you know, here at the Big Ass Farm, we have wild donkeys, domestic donkeys. We have a domestic horse and Mustangs. So we have a little bit of everything. We enjoy training and gentling these guys, and then later on we find a nice home for them, hopefully a forever home where they're going to be well taken care of. And little dude here hopefully is going to help us make some more mammoths later on. If you guys didn't know, mammoth donkeys are actually an endangered species. So keep watching. We'll have more videos about mammoth donkeys as well. You guys have a great day, and thank you so much for tuning in to the Big Ass Farm.
Hit that like button and subscribe, please.